Okay, I want to make a video today about being a salesman because that's what I do. Most of my day revolves around sales, and that's a very most people. If you ask them what they want to do, if they're in school, if they're doing going, to college, and they're getting ready to go someplace do something, they're going the last thing they're going to say they want to do is become a salesman because there's a negative stigma about sales. Here, I was going to bring this guy up about this. This looks like a typical salesman right here. They think about used cars. Guy's got a chain around his neck. He's smoking a fat cigar. He's got a cheesy pair of sunglasses, and that's a salesman. And he's got this discounted car behind him. That's the typical, stereotypical salesman, and that's what people hate. And they run from these kind of people, and they associate any kind of sales with somebody like that. But sales is really the only way you're ever going to make a decent living. It's the only way you're going to make a decent living. The reason why is everything has to start with a sale. I don't care even if you're in a profession, if you're a lawyer or if you're a doctor or something like that, you're always selling. You're selling your services. You're selling what people need or want, and you're trying to fulfill that need. So everybody's a salesman, but nobody wants to say that because salesmen are considered creepy, or they're trying to get more money, or they're trying to get my wallet, or they're going to do something like that. They're going to swindle me, or they're going to take me, or they're going to give me a rotten deal. But you can't let that control the way you feel about sales, because sales is the only way to go. I've been a salesman for quite a while, and I mean, I'm not someone that come about sales easily. I mean, I struggled trying to be a salesman. I went to school to be a lawyer. I was going to be a lawyer. I went to law school. I want to sit behind a big desk and have people come to me and give me $200 or $300 an hour for my time. That didn't work. So I ended up back in sales, and I do sales every day. And the thing about sales that people need to realize, or people should realize, is that if you're going to be good at this, you got to put all the effort into it as if you were doing something, as being trained for a neurosurgeon, or medical school, or all those things. This is as much a craft and a trade, and as much as a study, and as much work to get prepared for as doing anything else you could possibly do. I don't care how much how much training you need for us to do a certain job. This is every bit as much training if you do it correctly. And the problem with it is nobody knows how to do it correctly. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are giving good information. I see them on the internet, on the YouTube, and they give tons of good information. But very, very, very few people really know how to do this. And if they do this, it comes at great price. And the great price is a lot of struggle, a lot of tears, a lot of pain, a lot of financial difficulty, because to learn how to do this is not something that you come by easily. You just don't go in one day and say, I'm going to learn how to sell. In fact, I remember I took a sales training class one time, and it was about a weekend, and they taught you how to sell. And boy, by the time they had you all pumped up, you're ready to go out there and sell. And then Monday morning comes along, and you're ready to talk to people, or ready to call people on the phone, or whatever you do, and you fall flat on your face. The first couple of rejections, you just get crushed, and you're done. And that's the way most of it is. But you're going to have to go through that process in order to learn how to do this. But I'm going to give you a list of things that I've learned that have been very helpful in me in my career of sales. When I started out as a stockbroker, and I didn't do that great with it because I ran from it. I ran from it when I was young because I was tired of the phone. I just didn't want to keep on doing the phone. And I didn't believe in my product. That was a problem. We were penny brokers, and we were doing kind of deals. As it turned out, they ended up being good deals. By the time we were doing them, people were losing money, and that's a hard thing to get up every morning and sell something when at that time the markets weren't that great, and the prices of these stocks were going down, and people were losing money. So it just made me depressed to try to call somebody up after they'd lost some money, and try to get them excited about the next deal that we had coming up, and I couldn't do it. So I eventually got away from that. But I think I got a list of things here I want to talk about. The first thing is, if you're going to be in sales, you got to be positive. If you're going to be positive, you got to stop watching TV. No more news stations. No more of that crap. Don't watch listen to Rush Limbaugh or Alex Jones or these people. They will bring you down. And that's the last thing you need if you're going to be in sales. You got to be energized, and you got to be up, and you got to be ready to go every day. And the way to do that is to quit listening to all that. That's noise. This is, to be a good salesman is like being Usain Bolt running the 100 meters. You run down that track as fast as you can, and you get from point A to point B as quickly as you can. And there's no side steps. There's no stepping into the other lane. There's no extra body movement, although he does have a little bit. You just make it as quick and as fast as possible, and that's what you do. And the first thing you got to do is I got to quit. Stop watching TV. Don't watch TV. It just is a downer, and it just brings you down. And it's just noise, because you got to keep your mind focused. No noise in the background. The second thing I would say is get up early. Most people that are decision makers, that are businesses that make decisions, they are usually people that are doers. Those people don't sleep in till noon. Those people are people that get up early in the morning. So if you're going to be in this profession or this trade or this business, you got to get up early. I'd say I get up every morning at 5 a.m. and I'm on the phone by 6. And if you're not doing that, you're late. If I get up, something happens and I sleep in and I get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or even if I get up at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, I don't call. I just don't call. If I don't get it started by 6 a.m., I don't call, because I'll start the day midday, 10, 11 o'clock, maybe a little bit later if I do something or run an error or something, or maybe if I do something I don't get started till the afternoon. I just give up the day because it just isn't worth it. You got to get up early. You got to start early. That's very important. You got to get plenty of sleep the night before, and you got to eat a good diet. You got to feel good. Drink plenty of water. Get up early. Feel good about yourself. Don't do caffeine, man. I've been down that route too many times. The caffeine thing, energy drinks, they are going to fuck you up. You're going to feel crappy by midday. You're going to want to take a nap, and you're not going to want to stay focused and concentrate on the phone. You got to quit all that shit. You got to just get up in the morning, and you got to get used to your own biorhythm as far as your body's concerned. You got to listen to your body, and don't do any stimulants, because it's just going to be counterproductive. Don't do it. I know. I've been there. Done it twice. Both times I had big troubles. So yeah, don't do that kind of shit. The third thing I'm just going to say is there's got to be profit in your sale. I've sold for people before where you have a $250 sale and you might get $70 worth of profit. That's not enough. If you're going to be on the phone all day long and you're going to sell, the profit, there's got to be a profit margin in it, because it is hard work and it is time consuming and it's frustrating, and it will put you through the greatest. At times you'll be so frustrated you want to jump out of your skin, and you cannot make a good living at this until you have something that you could sell that has a lot of profit in it. So you have to have good profit. It's got to be enough profit so that if you make a sale, that it makes a difference in your life. It can't be you make a sale and you make 50 or 60 bucks. It just isn't enough in it for especially if you're cold calling, because most of the cold calls you get aren't going to be successful. The third thing I want to talk about, or fourth thing, whatever it is it's got to be done on the phone. And believe me, brother, I've done this every way you can do it. I'm an internet guy. I'm a social media guy. I've done everything I can do. I've done emails. Of course, here I'm on a video right now. I've done a lot of videos. The only way to really make this happen is the phone. You got to get on the phone. The phone is the best communication device there is. And I find the phone is actually better than it used to be. It's getting better and better, mainly because a lot of people are turning to other types of communication, like social medias and emails. Emails suck. If you think you're going to make any money by selling from emails, you better just get ready for poverty, because that's about what you get from emails. You get poverty. I did emails for about 2 years, and my business really took a downturn during the 2 years I was doing emails. Email marketing is very difficult, very, very, very difficult. You gotta do it by the phone. And if you do it by the phone, you gotta know what to do. The first thing you gotta do is you gotta only pitch the decision maker. Hi, my name is Kent. Are you the owner of the business? And if you're not the owner of the business, is that person available? That's quick. You got to get right to it. Don't spend any time talking about anything else with anybody else but the decision maker. I've even had people talk to me, say, yeah, my name is John. I'm the manager. What do you got to talk about? And I won't talk to him. I said, John, appreciate your time, but I need to talk to the owner. I will not spend any time with anybody but the decision maker. You got to go right to the decision maker. And if you don't get that person, then you got to give up on the call. I mean, even if it's the manager says, hey man, I make the decisions. Well, guess what? You pitch the manager, then the manager tells the owner what the pitch is about. Well, do you think the manager's going to do as good a job describing the product as you are? No. If you don't get a chance to talk to him, he's going to fuck it up. The manager's going to go to the owner, and he's not going to say it as well, or with as much emphasis, or as much passion, or as much whatever as you do. So he's going to relay the message to him, and secondary message to him, and it's not going to be as good as if you do it. So I don't ever talk to anybody but the owner, the decision maker. In fact, I've had a lot of trouble before where I've talked to the wife or talked to the husband, and then find out later they got to talk to the husband, and that's a bad deal too. So right off, I can tell you so many stories about that, um, where I've talked to somebody, and then right down to the, I need your card, and oh, I got to talk to my wife about this. And I always think to myself, why, if your wife was so important in this, why didn't you bring her into the whole process that we went through before we got to this point? Why weren't you keeping her up to date on what you needed to, what would she needed to know, so she could help you make this decision too? So very important. Got to take the decision maker, and you got to talk to both of them, and you can't talk to anybody in between. Um, the next thing I'd like to talk about, I don't know what number I'm on, 4 or 5. And this is something that I have made this mistake countless times. Don't discount the deal. Don't discount the deal. Don't discount the deal. If you discount the deal, every single time you discount the deal, you're going to look like this guy right here, the salesman guy. Trying to work the the $495 deal in the background. You don't discount the deal. If somebody says it's a little expensive, you come back with how much they need it. If somebody says, well, we don't usually spend that much, you come back with why this is important. You know what, you need this. And you don't go into it. You don't let those excuses drag you away from the main point, which is what you're offering is something they need. You've got to keep that thing right in front and square, right center in front of them. You got to tell them this is what you need, and you got to believe in what they need is what you're going to help them. If you don't believe that, you're never going to, because one of the things that happens over the phone is everybody has little subtleties with the way they say things, and there's sounds, and I almost know when somebody's calling me how much they believe in their product by how maybe a little bit of the way they say it a little bit softly, or they're kind of scared when they say it. You can really get that over the phone. And if somebody calls me up and they're really kind of hesitant about saying something, or they're overly apologizing or something, I know they don't really think. They're almost like wanting me to show them a little mercy. Please show me a little mercy. Listen to my product. Listen to what I got to sell. If you do that, they're never going to listen to you. They're going to shut you off. They're going to throw you away, just like they throw everybody away, because you can't say yes to everybody. Everybody gets called. I get called on the phone all the time. If you're in business, you're getting called all the time, every day. You're going to get called. You're going to have to separate the people that you want to do business with from the people you don't want to do business with. And the only way to do that is by how they say it and the way they say it, and how much they believe in what they're saying. And if you get conviction and you can show benefit, you will make a sale. So never discount the deal. Always have complete conviction and belief in what you say, and say it firmly, and never let the objections even enter into the discussion. So if somebody starts the objection process, and usually it goes like this. Most of the time it has to do with price. Whenever somebody brings a price to me, all I just simply say is that, hey, do you want to grow your business? Do you want to make things better? Do you want to make money? And I don't even address the fact that they think it's too much money or something like that. I just keep going forward with what it is that I know they need, which is what it is I'm offering them. And so you need to just keep on that level all the time. Just keep going that. And the other thing I'm going to talk about is the close. Everybody talks about the close, but nobody really tells you how to close. It's almost like watching Usain Bolt run and then watching some kid in middle school run. Everybody's running the 100 meters, but some people could do it a lot faster and a lot better than the other people. Well, why is that? Because some people have perfected it. And that's kind of the way the close is. The close is, to me, you know how the close goes? It goes, I need your card. Are you ready? I need your card. I need your card. That's my close. I need the card. I need the card. I need the card. Okay, we've talked about this. We know you need it. I need the card. I want the card. Give me the card. That's my close. I don't go into this long. How do you think? What do you feel? You think this is going to be good for you? You think this is going to be something that you're going to want to stay with? Are you sure you want to do this? I don't ever ask those questions. You ask those questions, and you're just going to open the doors for so many problems. Basically, I give it what it is, and then I ask for the card. I say, I need the card. I call people up all the time. I say, yeah, this is Kent. I need a card. And what's funny is most of the time they give it to me. Most every time I get it. Very rarely do I not get it. In fact, a lot of times do they kind of step back and they go, okay, I'll get it for you right now. What do you want? And my close is this: I need the card, Mastercard. Give me what it is. Is a Mastercard Visa? Usually that's what it is. Mastercard or Visa. That's the close. That's all I do. I close. And then the final thing I want to say before I leave, and this is real quick. I just come up with this just a second ago. In fact, all this I'm talking about is off the top of my head. It's just my experience of doing this. I'm no all of these guys that do this stuff. Um, there's a lot of motivational. I can't even think of their names right now. Oh, like Anthony Robbins or somebody like that. They talk about this stuff, um, and I've listened to all their stuff. But what I'm telling you is not stuff that I'm not selling a course. I'm not selling a university. I'm not selling anything like that. I'm just telling you, this is my life. That's what I said. This is my life. This is what I do, and I'm not running around in a jet airplane or anything like that. I have a comfortable life and I make a good living. I'm not doing anything extravagant, but I do sell, and I do it very well, and I make a very good living at it, and it's all I do. And if I want to take a day off, I take a day off. If I want to not sell one day, I don't sell that way. So I pretty much stay in control of my life, and I do teach other people. So I do help other people do this. But the final thing that I would say about any of this, I'm sorry, I got a phone call, is that um, do listen to the Anthony Robbins. Do listen to I can't remember the guy's first name. I think it's Cardone. I think I wrote it down here. Grant Cardone. Listen to those guys. They're good, and they have a lot of great information. So listen to those guys. Those guys will help you out. They will make things a lot easier for you. They'll save you years of struggle on the phone, and you know, do those guys. Listen to them. The internet is a great place to get all those resources. I like this picture of Obama with the diamond ring here on the phone. So those things are really good. The other thing is don't let people beat you up. I tell you, so many times after long days of calling on the phone, I've just literally come home, and just been so depressed I didn't even want to wake up the next morning, just completely distraught and beat up, by whatever rejections or whatever people say to me. I rarely have anybody say anything to me anymore because I'm pretty firm on the phones. But I went through long periods of time where I would really get down when things wouldn't go well. And all I would say is, if you're doing that, if you're going through that, quit being a victim. You can't be a victim if you do this. You got to hold your head up, feel good about what you're doing, and you got to know what you're doing is going to help someone out, and you got to believe in that, and you got to just take control of it. And if they try to lead you down another direction, you just don't go there. You don't let them take you down. And if they do, you just move on. The one thing about it is most people say no. If you closed every person that you called or every person that you offered something to, you would be the richest person in the world, in the history of the world, if everybody said yes. Not everybody says yes. Most people say no. The people that say no, don't let them beat you up. Don't let them drag you down. Don't let them make you feel bad. Don't let them make it so you don't want to call the next day. Don't do that. Move on. Move on. Make this thing as quick as possible. Hi, I need to talk to the decision maker. This is what I've got for you. It's going to make your business better. I need your card. Basically, that's the 100-yard meter for Usain Bolt. You go from start to finish, and you do it bang, 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 bang. And one other thing, and I maybe did skip a step here. A lot of times I will ask for a meeting because what happens is when you call someone during the day, you don't know what they're doing. So if I get somebody and they're distracted or they got other things going on, the next thing I go to the person, I say, look, when can I talk to you? Give me a time I can call you back. And that way, then there's and then you got a yes, and that's where you get this thing going. You start with yeses, but you just simply say, hey, you got a time where I could give you a call? Because that sometimes people are driving, if they're running a business, they're answering phone calls. They got a lot of stuff going on in the back of their mind too. So you can't, one call closes are not. That's not going to happen. It never does happen. I can't even remember the last time I had a one call close. So you do generally have to call them back. But you get to that, and the callback, that's when you start asking for the card. That's when you start doing it. The other thing I will do sometimes is I will bring people online with me and show them stuff, because I am a developer and a designer, and I can show them a lot of stuff. Everybody's got stuff that they need to have done. So I can do that. I do that sometimes. I don't always do that. Sometimes if I do that, it's something that, I'm trying to, there's something that's really obvious that they need to have done. So I go to that direction. But generally, it's just pretty much like I described it earlier. It's a decision maker. It's hello, decision maker. This is a benefit. You're going to make your money back on this. You never will lose money. I've never had an unhappy customer, and that's true. I've never had an unhappy customer, and I need a card, and that's it. And you will be successful. So anyway, I'm sorry it's a little bit disjointed because I just did it off the top of my head. But anyway, I hope you listen to what I have to say. It's taken me years. The things I've just said, it's taken me years to figure that stuff out. I'd like to save people that time without spending a bunch of money on a course or something like that. And listen to what I say. Maybe listen to it a couple times, because there's a lot of information what I just said, and there's a lot of things that you can do to make a really, really good living. So I appreciate you listening, and happy selling.